Bill C-12 is racing through the Senate, and if passed, it could give the federal government sweeping new powers to cancel visas, tighten asylum deadlines to just 1 year or even 14 days, and expand data sharing across immigration programs. With nearly 300,000 asylum cases backlogged, officials say this is about restoring control. But for students, workers, and refugee claimants, the real question is urgent. Will your application still stand under the new rules? Royal assent could come within days, and once it does, everything shifts. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Immigration Canada. Canada's new Bill C-12 is moving fast to become law and tighten immigration. Canada's immigration landscape is about to undergo one of its most consequential transformations in recent memory. Bill C-12, the Strengthening Canada's Immigration System and Borders Act, is advancing through the Senate at extraordinary speed. If momentum continues, royal assent could arrive before the end of February 2026. On February 9, 2026, Immigration Minister Lena Metlidge-Diab and Public Safety Minister Gary Anand-Sangari appeared before the Standing Senate Committee on National Security, Defense, and Veterans Affairs. Their testimony set the tone. This legislation is framed as a response to historic asylum backlogs, mounting border pressures, and the fentanyl crisis. Today, Privacy Commissioner Philippe Dufresne is scheduled to testify, and senators will begin reviewing a draft report. That is not routine pacing. That is acceleration. If you hold or plan to apply for a work permit, study permit, visitor visa, or asylum claim, this bill could directly shape your future in Canada. Let's break down where it stands and what it means for you. Where Bill C-12 stands today. Legislative timeline. 1. House of Commons first reading, October 8, 2025, completed. 2. Second reading, October 23, 2025, completed. 3. Committee review, November 28, 2025, completed. 4. Report stage and third reading, December 11, 2025, completed. 5. Senate first reading, December 11, 2025, completed. 6. Senate second reading, February 5, 2026, completed. 7. Committee review, February 9 to 12, 2026, in progress. 8. Report stage, expected soon. 9. Senate third reading, expected soon. 10. Royal assent, anticipated late February 2026. The pace is striking. With report consideration underway, third reading could occur within days. The focus has ranged from asylum reform to drug enforcement to data privacy. But beneath those policy discussions lies a pressing question. How will this affect individual applicants? Here are the 5 most critical changes. 1. Mass cancellation of immigration documents. This is arguably the most controversial provision in the bill. Under Bill C-12, the Governor in Council, meaning the federal cabinet, would gain authority to suspend, cancel, or modify immigration documents on a large scale. That includes 1. Work permits. 2. Study permits. 3. Visitor visas. What this means. If the government determines action is required in the public interest, it could invalidate entire categories of documents. Situations might include 1. Organized fraud schemes. 2. Fake acceptance letters from ghost consultants. 3. Cyber attacks. 4. Public health emergencies. 5. National security threats. The government could also stop accepting new applications for certain document types altogether. Important safeguard. This power cannot be exercised by a single minister. It requires a full cabinet order. Each decision must also be published in the Canada Gazette, and the minister must report to Parliament within 7 sitting days. Critical clarification. Mass cancellation does not automatically remove status from individuals already in Canada. Existing removal procedures and protections remain in place. 2. New asylum ineligibility rules. Canada's asylum backlog reached nearly 300,000 cases by late 2025. Bill C-12 directly targets that surge. New Rule 1, the 1-year deadline. If you entered Canada after June 24, 2020, and file an asylum claim more than 1 year after your first entry, your claim will be ineligible for referral to the Immigration and Refugee Board. Instead, You would only qualify for a pre-removal risk assessment, PRRA, before deportation. Translation: no full refugee hearing. If you arrived as a visitor, worker, or student and later decide to claim asylum, timing now becomes decisive. New Rule 2, the 14-day irregular entry limit. Individuals who enter Canada irregularly from the United States and wait more than 14 days to file an asylum claim will also be ineligible for referral to the Immigration and Refugee Board. They would be directed toward removal proceedings with only a PRRA available. Unaccompanied minors are exempt. The Safe Third Country Agreement remains unchanged. Why this matters? Claims surged from 92,000 in 2022 to 173,000 in 2024. Average wait times sit around 16 months. These new rules aim to discourage using asylum as a means to extend temporary stay or secure work authorization. For potential claimants, urgency is no longer optional, it is structural. 3. Expanded government information sharing. Bill C-12 significantly broadens data sharing powers within the immigration system. What changes? Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada can now 1. Share data across its own programs. 2. Compare information between PR, citizenship, and temporary applications. 3. Share identity and status data with federal, provincial, and territorial partners. 4. Identify discrepancies more easily. In practice, this means your study permit information could be cross-checked against your permanent residence file. You may no longer need to resubmit identical documents across programs, a welcome modernization. But there is a flip side. Increased fraud detection. Inconsistencies, even minor ones, will be flagged more efficiently. Accuracy becomes paramount. Privacy safeguards. 1. Written agreements required with all partners. 2. Provinces cannot share your data internationally without IRCC's consent. 3. Any foreign sharing must comply with Canada's anti-complicity legislation. The modernization may reduce redundancy, but it also raises the stakes for precision. 4. Streamlined asylum processing. Beyond eligibility changes, Bill C-12 restructures procedures to accelerate decisions. Key adjustments. 1. A unified application process for port of entry and inland claims. 2. Only schedule-ready files referred to the Immigration and Refugee Board. 3. Claims decided only when the applicant is physically present in Canada. 4. Removal of inactive cases. 5. Immediate effectiveness of removal orders when claims are withdrawn. 6. Designated representatives for vulnerable individuals. What this means? Incomplete applications may stall before referral. Preparation becomes critical. However, vulnerable claimants, including minors or those unfamiliar with the process, will receive assigned support representatives. Efficiency is the objective. Preparedness becomes your responsibility. 5. Enhanced border security and enforcement. Bill C-12 strengthens enforcement authority in response to organized crime, auto theft, and fentanyl trafficking. Enforcement enhancements. 1. Expanded authority for CBSA to examine exports at transportation hubs. 2. Port operators required to maintain enforcement-ready facilities. 3. Canadian Coast Guard assigned a new security mandate. 4. 1,000 new RCMP personnel. 5. 1,000 new CBSA officers. 6. 24/7 border surveillance. While these measures primarily target goods and criminal networks, travelers may experience more rigorous screening at ports of entry. Documentation readiness becomes essential. What you should do now. If Bill C-12 becomes law, and all signals suggest it will, proactive preparation is key. 1. Review your IRCC profile. Confirm all submitted information is consistent across applications. 2. Verify entry dates. If you are considering an asylum claim, understand that the one-year rule will apply once the bill is enacted. 3. Confirm document authenticity. If you worked with a consultant or agent, independently verify acceptance letters and job offers. 4. Submit complete applications. Under the schedule-ready requirement, incomplete files may stall before hearing referral. 5. monitor Senate proceedings. The draft report is under review now. Final passage could occur within days. The bigger picture. Bill C-12 represents a decisive recalibration of Canada's immigration framework. It seeks to protect system integrity, reduce backlog pressures, and fortify border enforcement. But it also introduces expanded executive authority and tighter eligibility thresholds that will materially affect applicants. For many, the implications are procedural. For others, they are life-altering. If you are navigating Canada's immigration system right now, this is not background noise. This is a structural shift. Stay informed. Stay precise. Stay proactive. Because once royal assent is granted, the new rules will not be theoretical, they will be operational. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Take care.